Everyone, welcome to my new podcast called Spiritually Incorrect. I'm Shanina, and the reason I'm starting this new podcast is because lately it just doesn't feel right to upload videos on Instagram and Facebook and platforms that are, censoring and are not really exposing the truth that we all want to hear. So this is something that my friend insisted that I needed to do, and the reason I call it spiritually incorrect is because I'm about to give some of my opinions, my understandings that sometimes are not very popular or not going with the grain of what the stream, the media wants us to believe spirituality is. Because don't forget, all the information needs to be dig for. And these days, spirituality is everywhere, and that tells us that the mainstream media is guiding us towards the spirituality, the spiritual shopping, the spiritual ego that they want us to be, they want us to have. So we need to look further, we need to look behind the deception and find out what true spirituality is to us personally, to each and every one of us. So this podcast comes from this idea that we need to try the best we can to communicate with each other, but to do it outside the mainstream media so we can attain a higher truth. So we're going to be talking about many different subjects, always on the spiritual line, spiritual themes. I want to be having some friends over too for some fun discussions, debates, sharing, learning, and all coming together. Because in the end, there's truth in every culture, in every ideology, in every religion, and there's also a whole lot of lies. And right now, when the world is so divided, I believe it's because it is showing us behind the fabric of reality. It is showing us that we are living basically a joke. We're living a joke because we still defend things that are not real. And we go as far as to fight and argue with our fellow humans on things that we can ever know for sure if we are right or wrong. All I know is what I don't know. So let's expand, let's talk about these matters, these subjects, and how can we attain a higher level of understanding of our existence here and how to live a life not that is productive, not that is beneficial to anyone, but that is simply good for you, that is peaceful, and that is in tune with the flow of the universe, and not just always, punching and fighting our way through this world and seeing everything as negative or anything as super positive. Let's realize the polarization of the universe, and let's go beyond that. Let's go beyond that and operate in absolute balance with ourselves and with the outside, as inside, so outside, as above, so below. So my name is Janina, for those of you that may be tuning in for the first time. I live in Spain. I am 33 years old. I have 2 children, one partner, one dog, and I do a lot of things. I do a little bit of astrology, and I do a little bit of tarot, and I cook a lot, and just this is my third podcast, so I'm gonna be saying the word and like many times. I apologize for that. It's gonna get better, I promise you. The first times it's always a bit difficult. I started this recording about 10 times now. So bear with me as I get comfortable. I put my feet up on my table, and I hope I can hold this position long enough for you. So today what I was going to talk about to you was something that I've been reading, and I think it's so true. I would call it the meditative mind versus the numb mind. What I mean by this is that there's a boom of meditation, and meditation is amazing. No matter what stage or your meditative development you are on, is always productive, it's always good. But I find more and more people who tell me immediately, oh, I cannot meditate. Or, oh, that's no, I tried, but I couldn't shut my mind. Or this, or that, or that. And I always bite my tongue. I am on a stage in my development when I don't want to tell anybody what to do. Anybody that doesn't want to listen or doesn't want to share this information with me, teach me, learn from me. I do not want to impose my views. But when people tell me I don't know how to make, I just bite my tongue. I don't say anything. I'm like, you know what? When you're ready, when the time is right for you, the information will open up and you will realize things. But it also is true that I have realized myself, thanks to other people as well, who have shared material, who have done talks. So, but take it as such. It's just information. It's not the truth because the truth is only attainable from the inside. It comes from above and is seated inside of you. Everything outside is just references that we use to reflect back our own path, but not the actual truth. If it's not attained from inside, it's not true. True is true, it's very subjective. It's very subjective. Until we can truly define what the existence is, it's going to continue to be subjective, different to all of us. I always think of the true as a puzzle. We put them together and then we have the higher truth. But anyway, let's go back to the meditative mind. Because people tell me this, I cannot meditate, I cannot concentrate, I cannot this, I cannot that. And for this, and for many of my topics that I'm going to be talking about in this podcast, I'm going to be coming back to Osho a lot, because to me, he is a great master and he is a spirit guide and he is the definition of spiritually incorrect. I have other gurus there. I don't like the word guru. I have other masters who are also very spiritually incorrect, and we're going to be talking about them in this podcast because their ideas need to be revised. We need to rethink them again. So Osho tells us, this I'm going to talk about is mostly his way, his ideology on all this. So the meditative mind is the observing mind. It's a mind that is observing itself. It's a mind that at all times can be in the present moment observing what it's doing. So for example, I am doing this podcast right now. I'm recording and I am trying to use my mind to think about, to see myself doing it and what is happening, observing the mind. And it's not easy to begin with. It's not easy because it's almost like multitasking with your head. But you have to realize you are many different selves within you. You have different dimensions. So the more you try and disassociate yourself, the more you can live through all the dimensions you're in right now. So the meditative mind is the observant mind. It's a mind that is observing itself, the environment, everything that is happening. And when the mind is observing itself, it has no time to worry about the past or the future. The meditative mind is vertical. It lives in the present only. It doesn't go to the past. It doesn't go to the future. Remembering is in the past. Worrying is in the future. Preoccupations, the future. Anxiety, stress, the past. So the meditative mind is in the present, is vertical, is observing, observing, observing so much it has no time to go anywhere. It's staying here and it's observing. That is what we know as, and the goal with meditation is to not just keep finding little times in your life to meditate. The goal of meditation is not to have to ever meditate again because you become a meditative mind all the time. It's not effort. It shouldn't be effort. Maybe to begin with, of course. It's like when you want to train, right? When you want to become, for example, I don't know, a lift weighter or CrossFit or whatever, or yogi. You at first, it's really hard. It's really hard to do all those movements you're not used to get discipline. It's really hard. But the more you do it, your muscles get used to, the easier it becomes. You get a kick out of it. But the mind is like that, but at the same time, it's different. The mind can be trained all the time. You don't need to make special time to train your mind. In fact, that's the opposite. You should be training your mind when you're the busiest, not when you are clearing your schedule to go sit down and meditate. You should just be always trying to train your mind. So that's the meditative mind. You get to a point where you're just observing all the time, when you're aware all the time, and when you just are in yourself present, vertically in the now, whatever is happening, because there's things always happening around you, and if you are at home and you're bored and you're watching TV, that is happening. That is something to observe. Even if you're watching Netflix, this is a very good exercise the Osho tells us to do. If you're watching a movie and the movie makes you cry or makes you laugh, then your subconscious mind is experiencing the movie as real, experiencing like it's happening to you. If somebody in a movie gets hurt, if somebody gets an arm cut, you feel it in your arm. So you experience it, that movie has real. Your subconscious mind thinks that it's happening to you now. So in that moment, when you're experiencing the movie as real, disassociate your mind, become the meditative mind, and tell your subconscious mind, this is a movie. This is not real. This is not happening to us. We are observing something that is not even happening to a real person. It's happening to an actor that is not real. Disassociate. Don't experience. Don't give that movie or whatever it is you're doing your full mental power. Keep some for yourself. Keep observing what's happening. So that is, like I say, the meditative mind. So what do I mean by the numb mind, the numb brain, the inactive brain? This is what is spiritually incorrect because many, uh, schools or theories or philosophies are going to tell you that you have a meditative mind. To meditate, you have to shut your brain up. You have to somehow end the noise in your head. You have to quiet it down up there, and you have to not think. Not think. And that, my friends, is nearly impossible. No, let's just say how it is. It is absolutely impossible. So people are struggling, sitting there, trying to really, 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 really stop thinking. Stop thinking. Stop thinking. Oh, I'm thinking again. Oh, shit. Oh, no, stop thinking now. Stop thinking now. And it's just such a mental work. That's when people say, I cannot meditate. That's when people give up on meditation. That's when people don't understand meditation. So, they're going to tell you to, sit on the floor, get your legs stiff, close your eyes, shut your mind. Well, but I can't shut my mind that easily. What do I do? Okay, well, repeat 200 mantras. Okay? I don't know. Raja, 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 raja. Go on. I don't know. Fast. Fast alone. Don't eat alone. So then you will be more receptive of the meditative energy. Or do a lot of yoga. So get on your head, upside down, upside down, upside down. What else they tell us to shut our minds? Follow a guided meditation online. They tell you to tell you a story. So follow that. The thing is, all these techniques, all they're doing is trying to numb your brain, because a mantra is a sound repeated. So anything can be a mantra. I mean, podcast. That is a mantra. Anything is a mantra. It's repeated. It's repeated with the aim of becoming, so repetitive that the mind falls into a loop. But that is it. It's a loop. It's not what we want. It's an spiral movement. We don't want a loop because a loop trapped us. We want a spiral. We go around, but we come to more and more depth each time, right? So that's a spiral movement. But to sit down in whatever position, to get your legs stiff, and to try and shut your mind, that all this it's just painful. And we all done it. Obviously, when we try to start meditating, we all done it. That's the first step. But a lot of people quit on that step. And that is what sucks. That we don't have their ideas on how to meditate. Okay? So a mantra, as much as it can help you come back to certain, your own axis, and as much as it's good when you are, for example, anxious or stressed, to repeat something that brings you peace, a word to you that brings you peace inside, it is not meditating. Okay? Repeating mantras is not meditating. You're not controlling your mind. You're distracting it. It's like watching a TV show. You're distracting your mind. You're not observing the mind. The opposite, in fact. So this, again, for example, about fasting, Osho says that fasting is good for the body. It cleanses the body, but it's bad for the mind. It starves the mind. So when you see some Hindus, some gurus, some Buddhists that eat very little, fast a lot for weeks at a time, they're starving their brain. They're starving their brain, so there's not enough brain power. So they're numbing the mind. Same as if you do a lot of, for example, yoga that requires to be upside down a lot. A little bit is good. It oxygenates your brain. The blood comes into your brain and you get that, that blood circulation is good. But a lot of it numbs the mind. And you feel it, right? When you come down from the position and you are feeling heady and you're feeling light and you're feeling a little bit, like I said, it's okay. But doing it every day for long periods of time, like some yogis, gurus will propose, is numbing the mind. We already have a numb mind compared to animals because we walk on two. And animals, animals have the brain, the blood flow going through the whole body, and the head is not above the rest of the body. Not for all animals, obviously, but most animals, even gorillas walk on four. So we already have an issue of blood flow to our brain. So numbing the mind farther may be good if you have anxiety, if you're someone that is an overthinker, learn some techniques to shut the mind. But again, it's not a meditative mind. It is not doing what meditation is supposed to do. So here I'm going to say something that I believe is important. And it's something that I didn't know when I started meditating. And that now is so clear to me. Being able to meditate properly has more to do with your shadow work than with any technique, any yoga, anything, any reading, any teachings that you can find. Because when the mind cannot be controlled, when the mind wants to fight you, basically fight you, when you sit in that corner and you start trying to meditate and your mind cannot shut up and it's taking you to weird places, your mind wants your attention because there are things you are ignoring about yourself. There are things you are not wanting to deal with. So you sit there and you try to shut your mind, but your mind is screaming. It's screaming at you. So why is that? Because shadow work is for everybody. Everybody. No matter who you are, no matter the level of trauma you went through in your life, no matter what history you have, you, like me, like every single soul that comes into this plane, comes to do shadow work. Because only through the shadows we find the light. And meditation is no other than reaching the state of enlightenment, which is light. So you have to do your shadow work. And you can do your shadow work while meditating. I mean, it's one of the best way to do it. But you have to not be afraid to observe what your mind needs you to observe. Your mind is wanting to show you something, and you are deflecting the attention. So you sit there and you try to meditate, and your mind goes, you know, a flash. Oh shit, we didn't talk about this. We haven't yet deal with this, you know? And it could be anything. It could be something from today, or something from 10 years ago, or something from the moment you were born, whatever. Your mind, you know what I'm talking about. You know where your mind needs to work through right now. So you sit there in the corner and you try to meditate, and your mind is screaming at you, is screaming at you, is trying to take your attention. So do it. Observe that. Observe what comes up. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just let it come through. Let it come through. Don't try to shut down your mind. Don't try to stop thinking. It is impossible. It was impossible already for the times of Buddha and Jesus. Nowadays, with the amount of stimulus we get all day long from everything, from each other, from technology, from this, from that, and also the amount of heritage that we have these days, genetic heritage, emotional, is all within us. We have full-on generations and generations of generational information within ourselves. All of that is swirling out of control inside of you. Now it's time to put that in order, to reorganize your mind, to tidy it up. And meditation, especially to begin with, is a great opportunity to do that, to do that. Do not use that time to try on control and shut your mind or numb your mind with another raja, 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 raja. You'll finish that, and the thoughts are going to come back, and the issues are still going to be there. They're going to still be there for you to deal with. But trust me, when you deal with those shadows hunting your head, with that subconscious mind that is pushing on you all the undone work that you have there, the meditation is going to become easier and easier and easier, because you are making room for yourself. And most masters will give us the example of the hollow bamboo, and that's what we want to be. We want to be hollow inside. We want to empty ourselves of all the shadows, of all the judgment, of all the pain, but also all the joy. And we want to become hollow, empty, so it can be filled with the divine. So through us, existence can take any form, and we can be at one, and we can be at peace, and we don't have to decide anymore. The deciding makes us very anxious, and it makes us very, oh, what should I do? What shouldn't I do? No, the more you empty yourself, the more hollow you become, the more you're gonna flow with the current of the universe. So do not try to use meditation to shut your mind, or to be a person of no mind, as I say it. You have to accept the mind. You have to integrate the mind within yourself. And something that I always wonder was, whenever before I learned how to meditate properly, or before I even understood what meditation was, and I'm still not very sure that I understand it. This is a process. You change a lot. But something that I something that used to happen to me was like, happen to everybody, I guess, is that I will try and I will do these mantras, and then I will do this, yoga, and then I will do this, and then I will sit down to meditate, and I will try to empty my mind, be a person of no mind, as I said not to be, and my mind will always be so loud, and I would be thinking sometimes deep things and sometimes stupid little shit things that I couldn't, say, why am I thinking about this? This is not important right now. Why am I thinking about this? And I just couldn't grab a hold of my mind. And Slowly, I started reading about it, finding different types of schools and different ways to do it. And I realized, hello, I realized, and my question was this: when I forget that I'm meditating, when I lose track, when I go back to silly little thoughts that I don't want to go to, I beat myself up. When I realize that I've drifted away from the meditation, I beat myself up. I would be like, oh, you idiot, you did it again. Wow, oh no, I forgot I was meditating. And now I'm thinking about that I have to go and, check my bank account or whatever. Stupid stuff that is no real whatsoever. But my mind is real. My mind is here talking to me. But for some reason, I can't listen to it. I don't want to listen to it, and I'm drifting away, and I'm giving myself a lot of guilt and a lot of blame for it. And that was that inner dialogue that I was having with myself. That was the key. That was the absolute key, because I was being so mean to myself when I was really trying to learn something new, something that I had never been exposed to in my life whatsoever. I'm trying to learn to meditate, and when I fail, I am being miserable to my own self. I am telling myself things I would never tell somebody else. I am not biting my tongue with myself the way, I bite my tongue with somebody else when they say they cannot meditate. Why? Why am I so mean to myself? And that's when it all became clear why I couldn't meditate. What was wrong with my inner dialogue, with my mind, with myself, with my soul? I am mean to myself. Huh. That was a major realization. I am not kind to myself. No, I'm trying really hard to do something new and that is supposed to be good for me. And because I'm failing, I am mean to myself. So that was something I needed to change. That was the first step to the real realization of my own self. And that was thanks to meditation. And even though I didn't think at the time I was succeeding at meditation, meditation was succeeding at doing me, because he was teaching me that my inner dialogue was wrong, was mean, was unkind. He put that in evidence very easily, very easily. So I started, and this is something I read in Osho's book as well. Somebody asked the same question, said, when I drift away, I get angry at myself. What do I do? How do you change that? So Osho said, why do you get angry at yourself? Maybe a month ago, you were never talking to your own self. You were never trying to observe and communicate with your mind. But now you are. So when you drift away and you realize you drift away, instead of beating yourself up for it, celebrate yourself. For you have come back to yourself. And you have never done that before, because before you were totally oblivious to yourself. You never meditated, you never tried, and now you're trying. So you need to change the way you talk to yourself. So yeah, you drift away, you have a million things in your mind. Your mind is hard to grab a hold on. Your mind is a rebel. Your mind wants to, take control of you, but you are trying. And the most important thing is that you're kind to yourself and you celebrate yourself when you come back to yourself every time. So if you're meditating an hour or half an hour and you drifted away 15 times into whatever silly thoughts that you were trying not to. So those are 15 times that you celebrate yourself, that you even inside your mind, clap for yourself because you've done it. You've done that. You came back to yourself. And that is the key. Self-love. Love is always the key. And through meditation, we can show ourselves so much love. We can recognize our inner dialogue as toxic. We can understand how we are toxic to other people and to ourselves and change that. But as long as we think of meditation as a, pointless exercise of repetition, we are numbing our minds. we are not truly meditating. We are not truly observing ourselves, our inner states, and the outside as well. And there's no possible alignment for that, is there? You're like a broken record. You're nothing more than a broken record. Repeating techniques without fully understanding what they're for, what they do, what you need them. And the worst part is that in that process, you are becoming more fed up and more fed up and more fed up because you're not getting anywhere. And it's taking you so much effort to control your mind. So much energy wasted trying to control something that is not controllable. It's just no. It's no. Because truly, it is external to you. It is demanding your communication, not your control. It is demanding that you pay attention, that you talk to it, that you dialogue with it, and you're just trying to be the boss of it. You're just trying to tell it what to do. It doesn't work that way. Every part of you is important. Every part of you needs to be integrated. It needs to be accepted. It needs to be very much loved and appreciated. And then you become whole. Each part of you coming together to create the full spectrum of all dimensions that you have. And when I say things like I'm saying now, I want to remind you that the most important part of the soul is that you don't take what I'm saying and you don't take what anybody is saying to you. We're just references. We are not the truth. The truth is within you, it's yours. You have to do your own work. So remember, when somebody comes and tell you, I'm going to teach you to meditate, okay? So you sit over there and you tell me 180 mantras, and then you get on your head or you get on your feet and you do this and you do that. You are being spiritually lazy. You are letting somebody else do your journey for you. And that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Following instructions makes us lazy. That is what is so easy for organized religion to try to take control over the masses. It's because people are spiritually lazy and they want to know that they're going to be safe, that they're going to be going somewhere else, but they don't want to go through the effort of waking their own self up or doing their own search, their own development, their own path. But it's imperative. It is the point. We come here to be, not to do, to be, to be. So it doesn't matter what is it that you do. You don't have to follow anything. In fact, be like the hollow bamboo. Let nothing stay with you. Let everything go through you and out of you. And let the new come in and also let it out. And let the new come in and let it out. And keep on digging, keep on searching, keep on learning, and keep on understanding just how unknowable our reality is. So do not beat yourself up when you feel like you don't know something or you can do something, because you're not here really to do anything. You are just here to realize yourself. And I am not, as I'm saying this is my opinion, this is my idea, this is my understanding. And you may think I'm crazy, and that's okay. That is perfectly okay. But I feel like I am here not to do, not to have, but to be. And I consider myself just the same as everybody else. So I have to, in a way, think that everybody else here is here to be. Not to do to me, not to have, not to anything, just to be, whatever that means to you. And meditation can show us how to be, and most of all, how to be present, how to be in the now. Now remember, do not starve your brain, do not numb your brain, do not hate your brain or your mind. rather start talking to it. And remember what I say, the shadow work. The shadow work is imperative to meditate, to clear your mind of the shadows that you have. You have them. We all have them. Do not deny your shadow. The more you bring light into your shadows, the easier meditating is going to be. I can assure you that. Because that is what is holding you back. The fact that you're ignoring what your mind is telling you. And a great way to listen to the mind, beyond meditation, beyond what you can do right now to properly listen to your mind, keep track, watch out, your dreams. Okay? Your dreams are the reflection of the subconscious mind, the rawest you, the rawest, most basic, most blunt you is your subconscious mind. And it talks to you only through dreams. So watch your dreams. Watch what comes to your head when you are complete subconscious mind. Do not be afraid of your dreams. They are your shadows. Understand them. Interpret them yourself, not with some silly book. Yes, archetypes have meaning and symbols have meaning, and dreams are archetypes and symbols. And you can use books to interpret your dreams, but they don't always work. And nobody can interpret your dreams the way you can. And I'm sure when you're meditating or trying to meditate, if you had a dream or something, it comes to you in that moment of meditation. When you're trying to shut everything down, that dream is screaming inside your head. Or not just a dream, but that experience, that moment, that memory, that thing is like something is stuck in your teeth, but it's stuck in your brain. All right? So you have to get it out. You gotta get a toothpick, a meditative toothpick, and take it out your teeth. Take it out your mind. And if it's something painful, if it's something very painful that you're dealing with, and if you're afraid it's gonna break you, then get help. No, you're showing strength by asking for help. And judge with your intuition what type of help you need. Be your own maker. Do not follow the masses. They're lost. They're clearly fucking lost. You know that. Learn to meditate for yourself. Talk about the things, think about the things, and most of all, when you go to that moment, when you go to that shadow, especially if you're meditating, and you go to that shadow place, it is really painful to you, something that weighs on your soul. When you go there, be kind to yourself and allow your body to feel the pain with your whole body, like a waterfall falling on you. Allow the painful memory to be felt with every single cell of your body. That is how you liberate that energy stuck in your system, stuck in your body. Feel it, release it, and learn from it. Leave only the lesson, but exercise the pain, exercise the weight. And then slowly your mind is going to be freer and freer and freer. And then, like I said at the beginning, maybe you need to sit to meditate, or maybe meditation comes to you when you are washing your dishes, when you're watching a movie, when you're walking, whenever. Meditative mind doesn't need special time to meditate. And that's what we're trying to achieve. All right, guys? Okay, I think this is a good point to leave it. Next week, I don't know. We've been talking about, I think we're going to be talking about Tantra a little bit because it's very powerful and it has also transformed me a lot, and it's one of the oldest most wonderful, let's just call it a vibration, yeah? Let's not call it a philosophy or any of that. I'm gonna call it a vibration because it's a self-love vibration, tantra, and it has really gave me peace and love and understanding. But that will be next week. This is it for this week. The meditative mind versus the numb mind. Choose meditative mind. Choose self-love. Choose to realize yourself without worrying how painful it's gonna be. Because the truth will never hurt you. It will only set you free. Alright guys, this was Spiritually Incorrect. I hope you like it. If you did like it, please leave me a comment so I know you liked it. So I know, you're there listening. And if you have any ideas or any topics or any subjects that you would like to discuss, to talk about in this podcast, shoot it this way and we will include it. All right, guys, I wish you a wonderful week. And I wish that you stay a soul rebel and you fight peacefully for your own mental emancipation and to be the powerful divine energy that you are and that connects us all into one human body. All right, guys. Talk soon, yeah? Bye.